Today we're going to take a look at the most popular vodka cocktails on menus right now. None of these cocktails are new cocktails. They've been around for a very long time, but they've been around for a reason because they taste flipping damn good. So let's start off with the first one. I always love using vanilla vodka, so pick your favorite vanilla vodka. For me, Dutch Barn absolutely wins this, but yes, it is a touch more expensive, but there's natural ingredients. It's proper vanilla in here as opposed to flavour extracts. So for this recipe, in the size of the glass, I'm using 45 ml, 1.5 ounces. We want a touch of sweetness and just to bump the vanilla just ever so slightly. So I'm going for 15 ml, half an ounce of vanilla syrup. I do love using Pessoa cocktail masterclasses, absolutely love it. And it gives you that lovely sort of colour as well. So for this, I'm going for 30 ml, 1 ounce of passion fruit liqueur. I want some lime juice. I've always got my 100% pressed squeezed juice here. So I want 30 ml, 1 ounce of fresh if you've got it, but just proper lime juice. And then my go-to passion fruit puree of choice. This stuff is now one-upped Funkin. Funkin is 90% passion fruit, 10% sugar. This is just 100% passion fruit. Tastes pretty damn good. 45 ml, 1.5 ounces. Load your shaker up with ice and then we're just going to give it a proper good shake. Then double strain that into your favourite Martini, coupe glass or whatever you choose to use. Then to garnish, dried passion fruit. Absolutely delicious. It's the UK's #1 cocktail for a reason, has been for the last nearly 10 years. It's flipping damn good, this recipe. Recipe number 2 is another obvious one. It's the Espresso Martini. It's been around a donkey's years. You can go plain vodka, but I actually love doing vanilla vodka. And if you've got vanilla vodka around for the porn star Martini, you might as well double up on this. My thing, and I always kind of do this, I go for equal measures. So equal coffee, liqueur, equal espresso, equal vodka, but you can adjust to taste. All right, so vanilla vodka. Size of my glass, I'm going to go 45 ml actually. Now your choice of coffee liqueur is pretty critical these days. Some of them have sugar, some of them don't. Kahlua and Tia Maria are a lot sweeter than the likes of Solo, Mr. Black. So if you don't take sugar in your tea and coffee, just be mindful that if you use a sweetened coffee liqueur, the cocktail might be too sweet for you. Also, I love to use unsweetened because then if I want to do a flavoured espresso martini with sugar syrup, then Kahlua and Tia Maria isn't making it too sweet for me. In this case, 45 ml, 1.5 ounces. Then I've got some fresh espresso that I pulled off earlier, another 45 ml, 1.5 ounces. Now look, just for pure inspiration, I'm going to crack out the caramel syrup here. So we're going for a vanilla and caramel. I don't want too much. I typically don't take sugar in my tea or coffee. So I'm just going for 10 ml of caramel syrup. Blend to elevate those flavours. So I've got some 20% saline solution here. So I just want 5 drops. Saline solution, so it's 20 grams of sea salt or Cornish sea salt to 80 grams of water. You never typically want more than 5 drops. It doesn't make your cocktail salty, it just elevates flavours. So again, pack your shaker full of loads of ice. Then I made this cocktail slightly bigger, slightly larger recipes because, as I said, I'm using a slightly bigger glass. So we just strain that in. Now, I think everyone loves to garnish with the coffee beans, but it's always 3 coffee beans because it stands for health, wealth, and happiness. It's a stunning drink. It's an all-time classic. The vanilla, it doesn't go missing in there. But I love that salted caramel. Salted caramel and vanilla just works. But look, if you want to do a plain espresso martini, go for your life. If you want to do other flavoured vodkas, go for your life. It's essentially a blank canvas cocktail. Now, your next recipe is another oldie, but an absolute classic and probably doesn't get the love from bartenders that it does actually deserve. And it's the Moscow Mule. It's a simple vodka, ginger kind of drink. But what I actually love to do, and I'm using this because the raspberry vodka is going to come out in the 5th cocktail in this video. I love the raspberry mule. It's just such a great drink. But again, sub in your vodka of choice. So this is just straight into a highball. This is a slightly larger highball, like nearly 13 ounces, I think this is. But I'm still going for 45 ml, 1.5 ounces. But do the ratio that you want to do. Now, I do love a bit of lime in here. I'm just going to do, actually, let's just do half a lime, couple of wedges. Just squeeze them into the glass. I am also a big fan of Angostura bitters in my mules as well. I think that typically is the OG, but I don't use Angostura. I use a different brand. All aromatic bitters are essentially the same family. They've just got all very different recipes. Just experiment. But for me, I'm going for 2 dashes Miss Betty's aromatic bitters. And let Fever Tree makes your life very, very easy here, because we've got 3 fantastic ginger products, depending on how feisty you like it. You've got the classic ginger ale, one of the best ginger ales on the market. Really love that. The ginger beer. As my palate's changed, it's got a little bit drier. I really like that now, but a few years ago, I was firmly in like the old Jamaica camp, that slightly sweeter kind of thing, but my palate's changed. So I like that. But then the all-star in the ginger for me is that spiced orange ginger ale. It's lovely. It's got a bit of cinnamon in there, a bit of fresh clementine in there. People think of it as a winter drink. It's not. It's a great summertime drink. But for this, because that's going to come out to play in something different, I'm going for the classic kind of ginger beer serve. But just use your favourite ginger. I adore those raspberry notes that come with there. Raspberry and ginger is a fantastic combo for me. Anyway, I flipping love that. But just play around with your favourite flavoured vodkas. Another brand might be mango. I'll be honest, until Dutch Barn do a mango there, Finlandia mango is actually pretty damn good. Mango and ginger is exquisite as a mule, but just play around. Find your favourite ginger beer, your favourite vodka, away you go. Now, the whole point of the Sex on the Beach cocktail, it should actually be a layered cocktail, and it looks great when you do it properly. The yellow part refers to the beach, so you make that first. The red part actually refers to a red light district, which was close to the bar where this cocktail was invented. So therefore, when you serve the cocktail up, you have the yellow part on the bottom, you have the red on top, therefore Sex on the Beach. So the first ingredient, we typically go for the peach. So peach, in this case, to most of you, is going to be Archer's. I'm going to do circa 25 ml, 22.5 ml, 25 ml of peach schnapps. Then we want some orange juice. Look, I'm a big proponent of supermarket juice here in the UK, but the thing I always say is try to use the 100% pressed or squeezed stuff. There's nothing wrong with supermarket stuff. This is just literally oranges squeezed down, but try not to use the stuff from concentrate, just purely because the 100% squeezed and pressed stuff tastes a lot better. So as I've done 25 ml of peach schnapps in here, I'm going for about 30 ml of orange juice. And then I'm going to do exactly the same with my 100% pressed pineapple juice. And just to echo the point, this stuff is just 6 pineapples pressed down. So just add in some ice. We're going to give this a quick shake to chill the cocktail down. Just going to set that shaker to one side for a second. Look, normally I would make the cocktail in the same shaker. I would pour the yellow part into the glass right now. But because I've got lots of shakers here, because I want this to look the best it can possibly be, I'm actually going to do it in separate shakers. So firstly, to make the red end, the sex end of the cocktail, you want your vodka. Now look, I'm just going to be using plain vodka here. We've got Dutch Barn. I'm not going to get too preachy about that. For this, for the ratio that I've got here, 45 ml, 1.5 ounces of your favourite vodka. Then we want some Chambord, which you can get here in the UK from every supermarket, little bottles like this, but we don't need too much. Going for about 15 ml, half an ounce. And if you don't know, Chambord is like a black raspberry liqueur. Many people think it's blackberry. It's not, it's black raspberry. And then the final ingredient is your cranberry juice. I don't think there's a better cranberry juice on the market. We have got Eager here in the UK, but at the end of the day, no cranberry juice is ever going to be 100% cranberries. It's always going to be from concentrate, because it would cost you about £40 a litre if you were going to do that. So Ocean Spray is pretty much the go-to worldwide. You know, it's a worldwide brand. So for this, I'm going for 30 ml, 1 ounce. So some more ice in there, another good shake to chill this bit down. We're back to the yellow end. So essentially Archer's peach schnapps, pineapple juice and orange juice. Strain that into your glass. Hopefully, if you've done it right, about halfway to 2/3 full of your glass. And then we take our red ends. You're just going to pick the top ice cube and just slowly strain that over the top, and it should layer beautifully. And then to garnish, good old favourite, I've got a chunk of pineapple, the slit there, and then of course We want the paper up parasols, don't we? The umbrellas. Once you've taken your Instagram photos or whatever social platform you use these days, stick your straw in. Feel free to drink it like that, but most people are just going to kind of stir this in so you combine all those ingredients together. And this is just holiday in a glass. I mean, it's so good. It's uncomplicated. It's fruity. It's boozy because of the vodka, because of the Chambord, because of the peaches, the Archer's peach schnapps. It's a great cocktail. It's been around for decades. It's going to be around for way more decades. Then for your final cocktail, this has been around a very, very long time. I first attribute this to Revolution here in the UK, probably the early 2000s, but I still see it on menus now and it's still great. This is the raspberry Caipiroska. So caipirinha, if you use vodka, it becomes Caipiroska. As I mentioned, I did use the raspberry vodka, so I like to give you a couple of uses for this instead of using a different flavour. But again, it'll work. But it is the raspberry Caipiroska that's just out there on cocktail menus. Phenomenal. So you can use a raspberry vodka here, or you can use plain vodka and muddle in some fresh raspberries. It is completely and utterly up to you how you do this. I prefer to use the raspberry vodka. Now, caipirinhas and caipiroskas are some of my favourite cocktails. I'm a big daiquiri fan as well, so rum, lime, sugar. This is not a million miles away from that. But for this case, I do have limes around to make this cocktail. So you want 3/4 of a lime. You can get rid of that. The whole theory being when you make 3 caipirinhas, caipiroskas, whatever you're going, you've got enough lime to make a 4th one without having to chop any more. So just quartered it, and then I'm gonna sort of cube it. So I've got 6 cubes of lime straight in a toughened glass. This is important. My method, it does need a toughened glass, but you could make this in a cocktail shaker and then decant if you want to. Your sugar levels are completely up to you. You know, everyone's got a different palate these days. I do typically prefer these slightly sweeter. So daiquiris, I would go 15 ml. Caipiroskas, because of the extra zinginess from the lime, I go 22.5 ml. So 3/4 of an ounce of, in this case, 2-to-1 sugar syrup. So the first reason for the tougher glass, we are going to muddle those limes straight in the glass. So if you are making this in fine crystal glasses, then actually make it in a cocktail shaker. But for this toughened glass will work a treat. So get all that lovely juice out of the limes, but all that flavour out of the zest. Now we're just going to go for our raspberry vodka. I'm going for 45 ml, 1.5 ounces. If you were going to use fresh raspberries, put the raspberries in the same time the limes and muddle them down. But I like to use the flavoured vodka because it does make the drink slightly lighter and you don't have those little bits of fruit in there. Yes, you've got limes, but you don't have the pulp of the raspberries. My little method, add a bit of ice to the glass, but not too much. This glass nicely fits in a shaker like that. And as I say, it is toughened, which means I can shake it straight in the shaker. And I'm just going to chuck that straight back in the glass. Then if you're lucky enough to have crushed ice like I do, I just crown with crushed ice. Then not to waste the raspberries, I've just made a little raspberry kebab to garnish. And as much as I love the Sex on the Beach, as much as I love the porn star, the Espresso Martini and the Mule, those style of drinks are always going to be my favourite. The beautiful raspberry really does shine with that lime, nice and zesty. It's not too sweet. Some of you might want a bit of sugar, some of you might want a bit less. But honestly, that is just an absolute stunning drink. So let me know your favourite out of these 5. If you think a vodka cocktail is actually more popular than these 5, let me know in the comments below.